Yeah, let's start the show. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Lou here from Beyond the Bounds. This is a channel geared towards bass fishing, gear reviews, tournament footage, helpful tips and tricks, and just all around good times. So if that's something that you like and enjoy, please go down below, hit that subscribe button. Also, head over to Instagram once you get a chance and give me a follow at Beyond the Bounds Outdoors. Really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be one of those that, I get asked a lot about this question, and it's one of those like, how can I do something different than my boater, or what's a good tactic for a co-angler? And that's what I'm going to go over today. Also going to go over some just tackle, just generic tackle that I've purchased. Bring it up. I mean, this is my most recent. Drop the lucky graph there. My most recent haul from Tackle Warehouse. I'll drop some links in the description, but kind of want to talk about a lot of these things. And some of these in here are actually something that I think a co-angler specifically should acquire, right? So let's get into it. First, I'm going to go into this guy right here. This is, there it is right there. That's the BX Brat. And this is a phenomenal bait. I actually tried this out quite a bit this year. It's become my favorite shallow water crankbait, right? So this is your like 3-foot depth range right here. And really good bait. Comes over wood, rips out of grass really well. Very good hooks to start with. I'm actually a big fan of Rapala and Rapala baits, which is kind of what you'll see in here. But why this bait for any reason? Well, here's the thing. Say your boater's coming through and they roll through with this Lucky Craft right here. This is the Lucky Craft 2.0, I believe. 2.5? Sorry. Yeah, 2.5, right? Golden shiner color. I was looking to try to get something with a lot of like shad kind of patterns because it didn't have a lot of those in shad patterns. And this time of the year, in the winter time, shad pattern, whew, it's a good one to be throwing. Anyway, but they're rolling through with that, and then you roll through with something like this, something a little bit smaller. It's going to trigger, maybe a few more bites. And that's one of the key things that a co-angler can do, is to take a normal presentation and downsize it. And I mean really downsize it. For instance, normal size Rattle Trap right there, right? Take something like that and then come in with a smaller guy, 1/4 ounce, right? Come behind your boater. You can always throw the same thing. A lot of people want to be like, oh, you can't throw the exact same thing that they're throwing. BS, right? If they're throwing a swim jig, you can throw a swim jig, 6-cent swim jig. That's one I recommend. I also like the Strike King Pro Tour Grade. That's another one. I guess the downside of this 6-cent one is that it's a little bit bigger. Whereas you have the other one, which is the Tour Grade, is a little bit smaller. So it's got a little smaller profile. And that's, again, what a co-angler should definitely try to do if they have that available. So if you're seeing something that's working, try to downsize that presentation behind your boater. If they're throwing a regular wacky rig Senko or a regular just Senko Texas rig, right? Screw in tungsten. That's a perfect way to do a really good Texas rig. If you take this, a mustad hook, a mustad grip pin hook, and then add this to a Senko, and just downsize that Senko. Maybe go with the 4-inch instead of the 6-inch. And these are some of those smaller presentations that you can do. Absolutely, one of my favorite presentations to throw behind anybody, or to even throw in front of someone before you get to it, is what I've got are the hooks for it. I've got some 2-aught hooks. A little bright. My light's kind of blowing that out right there. But take a Zoom Centipede. It's one of my favorite things. It's something I don't talk about, but I throw all the time. And you can throw a Texas rig Zoom Centipede, just a real small profile, right behind your boater, right behind somebody. And let me tell you, you're going to get a lot more bites than throwing that larger profile of bait. Maybe a baby D-bomb instead of a normal D-bomb. And the thought behind this, guys, is that by downsizing, you're going to trigger a whole lot more bites. Maybe they're going to be smaller fish, but big fish like to eat things too. Matter of fact, I'll show you a big fish that I caught mojo rigging a little centipede, a little bitty bait. I've actually had a lot of success throwing really small baits, because when the pressure's high and you have those tournaments to where they've been going on multiple days, fish have been hearing all these boats running around, people have been fishing for them, maybe they've already been caught, maybe had lots of boats in the areas, because boaters will check the same thing. We've all got the same base of knowledge out there. There are plenty of times where I'm already grabbing a rod and reel, and then I see my boater, he's not even looking at me, stop, grab the exact same presentation as me, right? Always be trying to do that. The next part of that is to just try to look and focus on the things that they miss. I did really well behind a really good boater one time, simply because, he threw right at the laydown, and then as he kind of left that laydown, I noticed that there was a little tuft of grass next to it. He missed that tuft of grass. I threw right at that tuft of grass. 4-pounder. And let me tell you, when you're a boater and you're like, I just fished that, but that's the job of a co-angler. A co-angler is back there to adapt and overcome and fish what's given to you. Fish what you can when you can. And that's where these small presentations, like I'm going over, like this Rapala BX Brat, or getting some fusion hooks. If you haven't tried these fusion hooks, guys, they're a great value. They're a great hook for a great value. They're extremely, extremely stout. In all the ones that you get, the Berkley Fusion 19, highly recommend these for anybody who's just starting out. Great set of hooks there. I'm a big Mustad fan. Love the Mustad, triple grips, whether it be for crankbaits and treble hooks. But the Mustad grip pin hooks, absolutely love those for Texas rigs. Think about that. Think about picking up some just smaller profiles than you normally would. Like I said, this 1/4 ounce Rattle Trap. That'd be kind of the next thing, and it's something that's probably not often talked about, right? There are baits that work, and there are baits that don't, okay? And I would honestly rather put my money in a bait that works than an experimental bait. And that's something I learned the hard way, guys. I was fishing behind a guy not catching a dang thing, both throwing chatterbaits. But you know what? He was throwing a jack. I got my butt whooped by that jackhammer. And let me tell you, I've got bags full of jackhammers now, right? For that exact reason, because when you see all the pros, and all the pros are throwing Mega Bass Vision 110s, or all the pros are throwing jackhammers, they're like, you know what, I gotta pay for it. I'm not sponsored by Z-Man, but they're throwing that. That's what works. You see all these tournaments being won on the Berkley flatworms. Why aren't you buying that? Buy what works. Buy exactly what works. You don't need some MTB box to throw you something that's fun out there. Buy the stuff that works and catch fish, because that's what tournament anglers do. They're not out there messing around just doing stuff that doesn't work, necessarily experimenting. You see the same things winning same tournaments year after year. But fishing is fun, and picking up some of the new baits, kind of like what I've got here, like the Rapper, this is the V-Rap, right? Something V-Rap, Rap V series. Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. It's always good to find something else that works, try to show fish something a little bit different. But at the same time, guys, it's always a Texas rig. It's always a Yamamoto Cinco, right? Why are you spending time buying one that doesn't have the same type of fall action as a Yamamoto when Cincos across the world have caught fish? But I've kind of shown you pretty much everything that's in this box of goodies that I got. I picked up some of the Rapala DT10s and 14s right there. What I like about these is they get down. I love Strike King products. I use a ton of Strike King products, but sometimes I have problems getting like 6XDs down to the depth that I want them. 5XDs, perfect. They get down perfectly. But this DT14, I know it's down because I'm sitting there reeling up, reeling, pulling. So I really like these, especially in the, well, I know that I call everything. This is live pumpkin seed. It's one of my favorite colors for this. A lot of success on that. And a lot of the time, guys, it's about building things that you have confidence in. But let me tell you, I had confidence in that other chatterbait until I got my butt whooped by a freaking jackhammer in front of that. Which is why, for the most part, all the rattle traps and everything that I have in here are Bill Lewis design. Look at this guy. This thing is huge, 1 ounce. I'm gonna actually try this out on Cayuga because we're gonna be back there in the in July this year. So I'm gonna give that a try. Something that kind of let fall down or rip out of the grass along those Cayuga weed lines, just to, like I said, sometimes you gotta experiment. Lucky Craft, got some Lucky Craft 2.5s, Golden Shiners. Trying to, again, up my chrome and blueback, just things that I know work, that I've used a ton, and that's what I'm trying to do. Got a bunch of these bike tungsten weights that are screwed in. That's really cool because you can get rid of the bobber stop, right? So these will just sink down. You don't have that bobber stop in front of the Texas rig, and it really makes an even better weedless. Like, guys, if you're looking for the ultimate weedless Texas rig setup, a screw-in weight paired with a Mustad grip pin hook, straight shank. But yeah, this is a really large, heavy crankbait and swim jig order. Got some more of the clear bags. These I really like these. As you see, I mean, I've got one kind of, you kind of barely can't see that, but when you're storing a bunch of different baits like these Bass Mafia ones, I've got a bunch of swim bait heads in there, a bunch of different weights and sizes. I fish across the country all the time, so I'm always having to store a lot of tackle and things, and I don't have a great place to put all that up. But other than that, picked up another one of these. Now, I don't know if you've seen these or not yet. I mean, they've been out for a while. These are the Flambeau, the Iconelli series, IQ series, and pretty good design. One thing I don't like is this frickin' sticker on the front. Jeez, they make that thing hard to get off of there. So Flambeau. If you can make this sticker easier to come off, that would be fantastic. Because most people want to take that sticker off, and it's hard as all get out to get that sticker off. But I like these things, just one for their size. I think they're really cool in that you could do entire presentations with a bunch of different hooks. Like if you wanted to do a Ned rig box or a drop shot box, these are really cool for that. Just with their design, good handle and stuff. You can rearrange them on the inside. You got different things, but imagine if you had different Ned heads here in different colors, in different weights, and then maybe your top 3 go-to Ned rig colors, right? That's one of the things I just like that about this. I mean, you can take each one of these out, kind of move those around if you need to. I bought one over here. It's funny, I bought one and I still haven't even used it. I haven't been like, oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna use that for, but it's now I've got 2 with stickers on them that I can't get off. So I'm gonna use them eventually. I do have one of the larger ones. It won't fit in my boat slots where my tackle is at. It's like it's larger profile than this guy. Let's actually see how that stacks up right there. That's pretty cool. See, I didn't know that they're about that size. So I mean, this would slot down in there if I wanted it to. They're actually not that expensive. I think it's like $10 maybe. So guys, I know that, I mean, kind of a little bit of information, kind of a little sporadic, but at the end of the day, I think it's really going to help you. And all the links are going to be down below for any of this tackle, so you can find it on Tackle Warehouse. I'll try to make sure I put it out there. But I think that's one of the #1 things that any co-angler can do behind a boater to catch more fish is to downsize your presentation. Go with smaller Texas rigs, smaller crankbaits. And hopefully that'll help you get a few more bites, because it's hard enough as a co-angler to get those bites behind somebody. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Don't back up, don't back down. We'll see you around.